Welcome back. So no matter if you are on Windows or Linux machine, in this video I will show you how to set up a basic engine project using CLion. So this is what we will do in this video. First we will download the engine. Then we will create a project and include the engine. Next we will write a so-called CMake building instruction. And in the end we will write a simple main function and try to get everything to work. Let's start with downloading the engine. Just click the downloads button here and then just click download again. And that's it really. Then open CLion and let's create a new project here. Let's choose C++11. I can recommend this version. And then choose a title for your project. I'll choose Engine Framework and click Create. As you can see, the project has been created and it even generated a simple main function here, but we will change it later. And this is your project directory really. So let's now include the engine. For that, locate the engine and extract it here. Then you should get a directory, but let's rename it and call it Lunar Moon. All you need to do now is to copy this folder here and navigate to the CLion projects folder, which you can usually find in the user directory, and then select Engine Framework as a project and just paste it. And after you did that, you should find the engine directory in your project here. So there are two things we need to do now. Well, first, please note that this directory is actually the directory where your executable file of your application will be generated in. And if you open the engine folder, there's a file called setup, and this file must be located in the executable files directory. So just drag it and drop it here. Click OK. Now fix this path here and tell the executable where it can find the engine. So the executable will be located here. So going back is right, but we have a folder called first Lunar Moon. So enter the name of this folder / and Lunar Moon. The rest is correct. You can leave it like that. The second thing we need to do now is to add all engine DLL files to the executables directory. So open your project directory again, then enter the engine directory, lib for library, select SDL, binary, and we choose mingw. And we are going to build a 64-bit application. So here you have all DLL files. Let's sort them by type and then select all DLL files. Then go back to your project directory, and this again is the directory of the executable file. Enter this directory and insert all DLL files. Okay, that's it. Let's now close this directory here. And by the way, we can close these files as well. Because now it's time to write some CMake building instructions, and I will not go too much into detail here, but basically said, CMake building instructions will define how your application is being built. So we will define a name for our application, and we will define which source files or library files will be linked to our application. And for that, let's open CMake lists here, because in this file we will define these building instructions. Let's start with giving our application a name, and for that we use the set command. Let's call this one target app, and let's choose the project's name here. And what we can do now is we can use this variable name here and replace it. And of course we can do it here as well. So the set command here basically defines a variable in CMake. This is useful because we can reuse the variable here. What we could do now as well is to give out a message for the building process, and for that we use the message command. And let's type in building, and let's use this variable here again. And let's add some dots. Next thing we need to do is to add some compiler flags. But first, let's write a comment to make it more readable. And then again we use set. And let's choose CMake flags. And as you can see, these are predefined variables of CMake. So at least we need to set the C++ standard. Okay. Let's then add the engine to these build instructions. But first, let's write a comment here again. And to build the engine for our application, we need to use the include command. Then let's type in CMake current list directory. This predefined variable will contain the path of this CMake lists file. And using this path, we need to navigate to the engine build instructions, because as you can see, the engine itself has build instructions. So what we need to do is to type in /lunarmoon /CMake lists. Let's also define where we can find the engine header files, because if you navigate to this folder here again and enter the engine folder, you can see the actual header files. So to do this, we need to use the include directories command. And we do it the same way as we did before, so we can copy this here and we use it /lunarmoon and this folder here, and let's enter this one to see it again, and we need this folder here. So this is the folder where all header files are located. And let's now have a look at the executable file. Let's write a comment again. So actually this one here is fine, but the last thing we need to do is to link the engine library really. And for that, we use the target link libraries command. And here we can reuse our target app variable. And the name of the library is Lunar Moon. Because this library here is being built by this CMake lists file. Now that was it. Let's now reload our changes. And if we open our CMake terminal here, we can see our message we defined here. So that was it. That were our build instructions. And as you can see by reading these messages here, everything is like we expect it to be. Now this could be the end of our video, but let's quickly change this main function here please, because this is not the way a main function should look like. It should always contain these two arguments here. As a C programmer you should know them, and instead of using return, please use exit. And of course we could change this text here. Instead of saying hello world, we could say hello engine. Okay, it is time now to build this application, and for that just click run and click build. And this might take some time. So everything worked on my side. Let's now run this application. And as you can see, Hello Engine is printed on the screen. Congratulations, you now set up your first basic engine project.